What up? 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 What's good, people? What is up? What is up?
Wow. That's a good little beat like that. Ah. Mm. Well, hello. Hi
Hi.
there, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody out there. Welcome back to Red, Blue, and Black
Like.
with L Teddy 27 and Kamz. This is episode 26. Sir, you're in outer space for us today. I love it though. I love it.
Look, Caesar said it best. Life's better on Saturn. So that's where I'm trying to be.
I like all of the beard and stuff like that and the mustache. I feel like it would tickle places that need to get tickled.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I call it the flavor saver. But yes.
Mm. Ooh. Oh, flavor saver. Yes.
Ah!
I live. Oh, I need to share this out, huh? I live.
Nice. That would be nice.
That would be nice if I shared this out, huh? Might be nice. Hold on. Hold on. But yes, today you are on Red, Blue, and Black. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have to talk about the aftermath of Liberation Day. We had Liberation Day last week, and the aftermath of Liberation Day is still reverberating.
You mean how my
I'm
401k
just saying.
continues to decline in real time?
Listen, listen.
Glad I'm not
Matter of
in
fact,
retirement.
my boss sent out an email yesterday regarding 401k and everything. Yeah, my boss, because it's bad. It's real bad.
I think
Hmm.
if you approaching retirement, it's real bad, real bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well,
You done
they
spent all of them years saving up only for a bitch to get up in there. And well, I
COVID
told my
already knocked you down, so you like,
financial
I'm gonna do a
advisor.
few more years. I'm gonna build it back up after COVID, and boom, here he comes.
Well, my financial advisor told me because we did it in we put it in three my 401k and my 403b. We have three stages. So I'm in the middle stage. And
Yeah.
so in the middle stage is where we're supposed to take a lot of risks and all of that and play around and see if we can earn a little something. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that's the stage we're in right now. So he said, I don't know what you complain about. We were already in this middle stage where we were supposed to do crazy stuff anyway. So
I'm
yeah.
doing a more as since I'm younger, I'm doing more aggressive, riskier
Well,
investment
that's the stage
strategies.
I'm in, the risky
Yeah,
progressive state. My
but
first stage, they
as I
said, let's just
age, it is going to become more and more conservative because I'm not doing this shit for too much longer. I would like to be done by the time I'm 50. I want to be on somebody's beach, just sitting there, taking up adequate space, like a painting in the doctor's office.
do I have enough in my 401k and 403b to be done at 50? That's not that long.
I'm a Pearl Jim said I don't want to look at it.
It
I,
depends on
mine
it
wasn't
depends on
that
how
bad.
big my
I would say
50th
mine
birthday
was not
party
that
is.
bad. Mine was not that bad, but I avoided certain industries anyway, like tech. I work in tech, baby. I'm not investing in damn tech. Like pass. Mm-mm.
Well, um, I listen. Let's just dive right in. So, if you
Yeah.
don't know what Liberation Day was, last Wednesday was April 2nd was Trump's declared Liberation Day, where he, enacted tariffs on everybody, even the penguins, even the damn penguins, down to the damn Antarctica got tariffs. Okay,
Don't forget the strippers down to the pank. They got the tariffs.
right? Yeah, everybody got some. And we're the aftermath is reverberating. Wall Street has been in a tailspin since then. It tried to recover today, and then Trump said, "Oh, y'all trying to recover because of what the European markets are saying? Let me fuck that shit up too." And he enacted 50% more tariffs because China did not. He gave China a deadline because China had retaliatory tariffs placed on us of 34%, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Trump said, y'all have until noon today to remove your tariffs, only for China to say, President Xi said, bitch, who are you talking to? Bitch, we about this life. We got just as many nukes as y'all have, and quiet as it's kept, we got more that you just don't know about in places
And they
a
know what
lot
we have.
closer, in places that are a lot closer than you think. Okay, because they do have nukes on the Western Hemisphere. Let's be clear. And they have much more manufacturing than us, much more jobs. And did you hear, Cams, that they were also enacted? I forgot the name of the actual provision or law, but they had basically not been there have been certain things they had not been producing that were American made and produced that they had not been producing in China, trying to be
Mhm.
nice to us. And now they've said, well, screw all of that. We're going to produce it and we'll produce it better than you are.
Not even,
And
and
now
it's
we
not
won't
even better.
pay
They're going to
anything
produce it at a
anymore.
cheaper cost than we can. That's the I think
Hmm.
the thing that's being lost in all of this. We have not been a manufacturing nation for decades. We've pivoted to services. We are a services driven economy. Us importing not the worst thing in the world. It's beneficial. And then it's like when some of these Trump supporters, I was like, do you even know what our strongest export is? They're like, no, culture. That's the big American export. Culture and soft power. That's how we've been able to do this. Being the only quote unquote superpower for so long, like the established world that was set up was working just fine. Everybody was benefiting. Now there was some issues with Latin America, but that's because of decades of the U.S. just fucking they shit up. But for the most part, things are cool,
Yep.
right? Businesses thrive on stability. The market volatility from this man is going to not only take the U.S. down, it's going to take everyone else down with it because the global economy is too interconnected. And Trump is used to being the big bully as he's notoriously fleeced several people because he keeps them tied up in court. They run out of money and then he gets away with it. So he's been emboldened by this. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. But now that you have people with some balls, and better yet, the money and the weapons to be like, fuck that. We're gonna hit your ass back with tariffs. And what I like about China is they're being surgically precise in the tariffs. They wanted to hurt his base, hit them where it hurts. They're going for middle America, they're going for rural America. The agricultural sector is going to get hit even harder than it did last time. Because a lot of people forget they not buying them soybeans still. And we had to give what $10 billion in subsidies to soybean farmers. We can't sustain that.
The other thing that stupid ass MAGA supporters don't understand is him and all of his people within his administration don't give a damn about small businesses. They do not give a rat's ass about small businesses. Why? Because your small businesses don't have enough money to line their pockets. They only care about major conglomerates that can add billions to their bottom line. And so the small businesses that are now reeling and will summarily start closing shop because we do live in a global economy and all of these small businesses import from other countries. Think about things like jewelry, anything that requires chips, anything that requires textiles, things like all of those types of things we do not make. And all of these most of these small businesses, they buy things in bulk from places like China and other, not just China. I know we're mentioning China, but countries all over the place in Africa, in Europe, in other parts of Asia. And we have summarily told those small businesses, just go ahead and shut down shop. I did not look at it, and Kamz, you may know better than me. I know we have these tariffs that we're doing on China. I'm really curious to know what tariffs are being placed on India. The reason that I'm asking about India is one of the fastest growing markets
Mm-hmm.
on the planet, but one of the burgeoning markets and one of the markets within India that is growing exponentially is within pharma. India is becoming a major player within pharma,
It was 10.
and
So
they are a major player with us. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
it was a 10% baseline on all imports. I believe that it was 27% specifically to India. To answer your earlier question, and as you're going into the pharmaceuticals, let's also marinate on the fact that we've decimated the FDA, indirectly giving India a significant boost when it comes to pharmaceuticals. But continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. No. And I'm with that's where I was going. The point being that The FDA, every other country that is a major player within pharma, UK, India, China, not so much, but India is a major player. Their biggest market is the US because every other country, even what we used to term as third world countries, they all have a national healthcare system. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody freaking gets, healthcare. Healthcare is free. We're the only idiots and assholes that don't have that. And so everybody, it's easy pickings. Oh, you have a pharma company? Great. US is your market. That's where you want to be. And we're talking about a significant portion of the hell, the pharma market is bigger than the GDP of half of a continent almost. I'm not making this up.
No, and it's
And so when you talk about adding, when you talk, and I'll just finish like this. When you talk about adding tariffs on an industry that is already bleeding the pockets of the American people, that is that's danger. Now you're talking about, if you thought it was bad where people were picking between food or their medication, both of which they need to live, right? Now it's going to be even worse. And you got rid of all of the Biden safety guards that tried to keep not just the price of insulin, but the price of multiple drugs down. And you got rid of the cap on out of pocket or insurance out of deductibles and out of pockets.
to those points that you made. I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with you about where you see this going, where you see those concerns, right? The US is by far the largest pharmaceutical market on the planet. Um, it accounts for damn near half of global pharmaceutical sales. The market is estimated to be at $500 billion annually. Okay. And that's due to a combination of factors, right? We have a large healthcare system, even though it's not a nationalized healthcare system. We have one of the largest in the world with significant spending on prescription medications. In addition to that, there's a high demand for innovative drugs, whether that's advanced therapies, you know, new immunotherapies, all sorts of stuff that we're constantly like researching and developing. The reimbursement structure of our healthcare, although the costs are high as hell, okay, and they are, insurance systems, they reimburse those costs of those prescription medication if it's deemed medically necessary. That leads to that high consumption. So it's this sort of system that continues to feed itself. But there's also the fact that many of the world's leading pharmaceutical companies, if they're not based here, they have a significant R&D branch here. So what I'm curious to see is how all these FDA cuts going to impact that. That's what I'm curious to see, because with the FDA cuts, with the introduction on tariffs on the pharmaceutical imports, we're going to have increased costs for sure. That's going to be the absolute one to one tie that we're going to see. And to your point about people choosing between life saving medication and paying for other things, I have a situation with a family member right now. Their seizure medication is entirely too expensive. Can't afford it. Can't pay for everything they need to survive in addition to this medication, right? Which is why they're back in the hospital. This is also going to cause a shift in manufacturing. That's what the goal is, right? That's what they think is going to happen. But we are not competitive when it comes to the overall bill of materials. The bill of materials also includes labor. Labor in the US is high. To be quite frank,
But Cam,
Americans are not gonna they're not gonna take these low ass paying jobs. They're not. Let's be for real.
well, but Cam, even if I go to even if I stay within the pharma realm, right? You mentioned R&D. R&D for the and I do I should probably not use these acronyms
Research and development.
of So this is when you're talking the biotechs, when you're talking the biotechs who do all of the studies, preclinicals, and things like that. But even prior to preclinicals, we're talking about just the research in finding out how to come that you're the FDA, you're gutting the CDC, and you're removing grants from stateside companies all over the country that you think are doing DEI. Grants all over the place are being cut. So now you've outsourced all of the R&D to other countries. Why is that important? Because before you can have preclinicals or clinical trials or anything, before we even get to the pharma manufacturing part of it, you got to have R&D. It takes grant monies. It takes things that the USAID was doing in other countries, and research, all of that research and development you basically outsource to another country now. The Chinas of the world can now become a major player in pharma. India can also do more of the surging that it does, and that all is going to cost us. What I find particularly laughable is the fact that Republican senators all of a sudden grew up hair and think that they're going to be successful in trying to stop this man and his tariffs. They, for
But
people,
even
and I
that
think, and I
little
talked about this.
that bullshit is not going to do anything because it's still going to fuck us up for 60 days. It's going to fuck us over for 60 days. So it's like the economic uncertainty, the market volatility, it does nothing. What they need to do is claw back the power of the tariff, period. It's like with this orange motherfucker in the White House, it's like
Well, the
giving
thing
a
of,
toddler a loaded gun. Somebody gonna get shot. I prefer it not be me.
well, it's not even just him. It's not even just him. You have Yeehaw Junction over on the lower chamber, where you have stupid ass Mike Johnson. He ain't wrapped tightly. He's not even going to let that see the floor. That's not going to make it
He's too
to a
busy
vote in
revoking
the
proxy
House,
voting for new parents.
right?
He's too busy doing that.
And then even if no, but Camps, here's the laughable part. Even if by some sheer chance, force of nature, they were able to get something like this passed, it has to go to this man's desk. And I don't see enough Republicans to overthrow to overturn the veto. So what are we talking about here?
I mean, and this is what frustrates me. When people don't know, okay, that's not a problem in and of itself. But it's the willfully ignorant that I have an issue with. Because when you look at going back to, pharmaceuticals and R&D, the average cost to bring like a vaccine, for instance, to market is 500 million to 1 billion dollars. And some of that, is like public private. So the NIH grants, right? A lot of that was helping them target things that are not financially viable because there's just some diseases like, oh, okay, it's not, there shouldn't be a profit motive in pharmaceuticals, but it is what it is. But like when you even look at things like Operation Warp Speed during COVID, that was $10 billion that we gave to help them expedite the vaccine development, the manufacturing, and the distribution. And I don't understand why we're getting rid of things like the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. Why are we cutting that? Because Moderna got money from them, almost $2 billion, just to support their clinical trials. mRNA vaccine research, like in 2.3 billion that they gave them. Like this is money that helps us directly.
But no, there was a breakthrough in a HIV vaccine in South Africa,
In South Africa, yep.
right? They that yeah, that was working in human beings. This was beyond just non human primates that they were doing this with. This was in human beings that was being tested on, and and there was signs of success. And USAID and other agencies within the United States had funding there. Guess what they decided to do? Snatch all of it,
Yep.
summarily crippling that entire program.
It's
You have other
brilliant
programs,
program.
you
I think
know, that
Brilliant,
there are several.
South Africa. I think it's called Brilliant. And they were using mRNA.
Hmm.
They were using mRNA, and it's just like there are things that
Hmm.
are global problems that the scientific community doesn't
Right.
have borders. They don't have borders. These are people that are passionate about solving problems, sharing knowledge. And what I think, well, what I not think, what I really truly believe, the damage from this administration will be felt for decades to come, because the gutting of U.S. AID, like gutting that, has totally removed us from the equation, because now a lot of these countries that were getting mutual benefits from us, they do not see us as reliable partners, and they're going to partner elsewhere. Where the U.S. has pulled out, people have not been paying enough attention to China, because that's where they've been leaning in. Where we still have this sort of, we think this is pre-World War I and we're going to be isolationists. The world has moved beyond that. We're too interconnected. So I don't know what make America great again means to this motherfucker, other than taking us back to the Great Depression with the way these markets are going.
And
Because
the difference in the Great Depression was, at that time we were still pseudo a manufacturing company. I mean, not company, but country, where there were things that we could do to help, us, and we were good faith partners with a lot of allies after World War I.
mhm.
So we still had a lot of people willing to, in good faith, to do things with us.
It
People are not going to want to do that anymore. We don't have any manufacturing. We don't have a lot of good exports that we can utilize to help the entire national economy. And then that coupled with the fact that we're alienating allies all over the place. And then when our economy ruptures, we're going to be looking for people to help us. Why?
we don't have. So let's look at USA. Like, that was our modern day Marshall Plan, right? Where you're investing and in these allies, you're building alliances, you're negotiating with your soft power things that are mutually beneficial but benefit you more. We can win-win, but we'll win more. That's what we had. Now, with him just trying to blow everything up, you telling me you need to accept this deal and pray that I don't alter it further? I don't have to accept that. What's in it for me? Like, we have to realize that these other nation states are also self-interested. They're not going to fuck themselves over. And let's be clear, our president is not charismatic. He does not have any uniqueness. He has no nerve. Well, he got a lot of goddamn nerve, but he has no talent. He's not this charismatic person that can build alliances. That's why he surrounds himself with these toadies, these stooges, these yes men and women that create this echo chamber around him. If you've noticed, he did so bad that first term, none of them want anything to do with him, other than Stephen Mills' racist ass. Like, he's little. This administration is the bottom of the barrel. The projection about DEI. Everyone in this administration is fucking unqualified. They're unqualified. I'm just like, how bad does it need to get before people wake up and realize this is a shit show that you voted for? But what I'm seeing, at least from my hometown area, people are doubling down. It's cultish.
I, what's so what's so scary
I mean,
is, so
Russia
we
won the Cold
have.
War. Russia won the Cold War with this administration. This was a long game that they played. Russia has won the Cold War. It has destabilized the West. That is something that they've wanted for decades. They finally got it. And China, much to their credit, they took the old advice: never interrupt your opponent when he's making a mistake. I just fear for my 401k.
Well,
You
the
know
the
I'm from
thing
you
we
know I'm
have
from
to
Alabama
contend with,
here.
if it's not the fact that they're taking your even if your 401k does last, we have to
It
contend
ain't.
with the fact that, are you going to be able to spend it, I should say. Now, here's why. I had somebody, Kamz, come into my inbox a couple weeks ago when the Mahmoud Khalil situation
Mm-hmm.
happened, and they literally came in my DMs. People be sending me DMs, and I'll be like, y'all really be people who never come out the bush. These ain't like the regular pupils these are people who never come out the bush. They just be sitting in the bush just watching. And said, why are you spending so much time on a situation with somebody who ain't from here and they can go back? I'm paraphrasing. Basically said they can go back wherever they came from. Why are you spending so much time on this person? And what I continue to tell people is, and I even have to tell a lot of black people, y'all are focused on the fact that it's people of Middle Eastern descent now. What you don't realize is, because you're too busy sitting on the couch and telling people not to get involved and get vested in what's going on right now, is they are honing their skills and sharpening their skills to do this to United States citizens. Please don't think that the end game is just for these legal immigrants, okay? They are sharpening their skills because this will start to happen to United States citizens who disagree with them, to United States citizens who voice dissent. They are going to snatch you up and they are going to place you not in the federal prison in these yet to be United States. They're going to put you over in El Salvador
Salvador.
because they're paying El Salvador $6 million a year to house prisoners. And then what your Supreme Court is getting ready to do via your Chief Justice
Already
John
did.
Roberts is tell
Already
them,
did.
oh, you said it was a mistake? Oh, no problem. No, no, no. What he said was, well, they can stay there till we decide. But I wholly believe that when they do decide, they're going to say it's okay for them to send them over there. I promise you, I think that's what's going to happen. And you're going to start to see the complete the FBI is going to turn straight into the KGB. Please be clear. The FBI will be nothing more than the KGB. And we're talking about the KGB under the Gorbachev days and stuff like that. We're talking about that KGB. Okay? And what's going to happen is our people are going to be the ones that end up, oh, you voice dissent. Oh, you don't like what we're doing. Oh, you had the nerve to call us out on our bullshit. Well, we'll snatch you up and we will make you an example and throw you to the wolves. And for all of the people that your retort to me is going to be, well, we have to keep ourselves out of harm's way and we don't want to put ourselves out there. What I continue to tell you is that's what they're banking on. They're banking for you to preemptively be willfully silent, preemptively saying, no, we can't put ourselves in harm's way. We can't go out there. And now what we have is We're back in the days. We're damn near in back in the days of shackles. There may not be necessarily physical shackles, but there are the proverbial and metaphoric shackles because they have already forced you into submission. They've allowed you to say my rights have been taken away and disenfranchised, and I'm not going to fight you on it. I'm not going to fight on it because I don't want anything. Because I feel like it's going to be a problem for me. It's going to be a problem anyway.
This
Cams, go before I spike out. I'm trying to keep myself
this
from spiking out.
is
Please go because these deportations, I just don't. I think, especially within the black community, a lot of black people are checked out on these deportations. They say, I don't give a damn
I'm gonna go ahead and say
about
it.
these
Fuck
people.
it. Fuck it. I'm finna go there. Fuck it. I'm finna go there. You know what? Fuck it. So the fact that people are so ignorant of fucking history is why they are able to do this. Now you mentioned the KGB. Fuck it. The SS. Let's go there. Let's draw these parallels up. Because what's currently happening in America today is there are deportations based on accusations, fucking accusations. There is no due process. There's no sufficient proof that can be viewed through a lens. And that does make some very uncomfortable parallels for me. Authoritarian regimes started up like this. The heat is very low. Okay? It's very low. They do it to people that, oh, well, that could never be me. That could never be me. That could never be me. They're going to keep targeting these minority groups until it reaches the people that they want to reach. Who you think that is? If black people ain't woke, they need to be. Because I read the white book, getting away wasn't a chapter.
Mm.
They've never gotten over the fact that we got the fuck away. And then when you look at the cornerstone legislation that was passed in the 60s, what also happened with that legislation? It opened up immigration. It did. Open up immigration. A lot of people wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us and us marching during the civil rights movement. Let's be very fucking clear. Because at one point, you couldn't be non-white and get your ass over here. It was us marching. It was us shedding that blood on this soil that made that happen. And if it's one thing that this Roberts court has shown me, they will close every fucking bit of progress that we got to get undesirables out of here. And ultimately, we are the undesirables. They want this to be a white, Christian, fascist fucking nation, and they are willing to do anything that they can to make it happen. Because let's be clear, reading John Roberts' bullshit legal reasoning, he's one of the weakest fucking writers. Now, you know I hate Clarence Thomas bitch ass. Okay, I do. I hate his bitch ass. But one thing I can say about him, his legal writing.
He can write.
He can write it
right now.
I might disagree with all of that bullshit, but guess what? He can write. Roberts already has his goddamn conclusion. He just gonna backtrack that legal reasoning to fucking get there. They already have their minds made up. They already have their minds made up. And people thinking that, oh, it's just, it's just individuals. It's about their, perceived immigration status, or it's a perceived national security which is a crock of shit.
Yeah.
If it's a national security risk, fucking prove it. Put it on paper. We hide.
Listen, they're arresting. They're snatching up people solely for tattoos. Solely for having tattoos.
It's related to MS-13. And it was a goddamn.
And Tom Harmon, your border czar, has said they're the ones who determine who's in the gangs or not. Not the gang saying this is who's in the gang.
Mind you, I'm so glad you brought that up, right? When he said we determine who's in the gang, we determine the association, right? Then you have Pam Bondi bitch ass coming out, her corrupt ass. We ain't forgot that shit when you supposed to be investigating Trump in Florida. You got that goddamn $50,000 campaign donation, and all of a sudden you just deep throwing that.
I told y'all that bitch ain't been shit since she was in Florida AG.
So you have all of this going on. Now they're saying that, oh no, Americans absolutely will be housed in El Salvador, but it's only going to be the violent. It's only going to be these super, all the way over here criminals.
But
Who
but but wait, 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 wait,
determines
wait, wait, Cam.
who determines that? And
But
also, what
Cam,
is the evidence?
but Cam, fuck that.
No,
They
here's what
said the
I'm
same
saying.
thing.
You have the borders are saying we get to determine who is
Who's in
guilty in advance.
MS-13? But my point was, I'm harping on the fact that you are saying that they said it's only going to be the Pam Bondi saying it's only going to be the violent criminals. Trump said it was only going to be the violent illegal immigrants, and now they're removing legal immigrants
Yes.
who are doing nothing but going to college and getting their master's degrees and PhDs. Those are the people who they are in mass putting out of here. So miss me with this. It's only going to be the violent. No, it's not. It's going to be all of our black asses.
Who
Why?
determines
Because
what is
violent.
violent?
This
Who
melanation
determines what is
is
a national security
violent.
interest? You have the DOJ,
Let,
you have the FBI being
let
the
me
arms of enforcement against his perceived enemies. How is this different from the KGB? Please
let
explain
me
to me how this is different from the KGB.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Let me. I just need to draw this arc. Okay, this nation was built for white people, white men. Okay,
Hmm.
they only wanted our black asses here for slavery. Let's be clear. Slavery was in all 13 colonies at one point. All of them.
Hmm.
Every single one. There was not a colony in these yet to be United States that at some point did not own slaves. Hell, the reason we have the financial district in lower Manhattan is because that was where the largest slave auction was, in lower Manhattan. Now, if we are not serving their purpose as slaves and helping them earn money, then they don't. We are a detriment to them, and we are not a part of what they want. So, what does that mean? That means that they're going to get rid of us because, like we said, manufacturing jobs are going. And our black asses ain't going over there to do no manufacturing jobs. So if we're not going to service them in that way, and we cannot be, they can't put us back in shackles anymore. They're going to find ways to get rid of us. They started that going back to the 60s with the school to prison pipeline. That was their first mechanism to try to do away with us and lock us up and put us away because they don't want us in this country. They don't feel we deserve that. We could go back further than that. Think about the bloody summer of 1919 when they decimated black cities all over the country because once we were free they said you don't have a right to live in this country, we'll burn all of this shit down. Then after that, even when we located ourselves in urban environments all over the South during Jim Crow, what did they do then? They created the interstate highway system that conveniently went through all of the black cities, all of the black neighborhoods in every major city. Then they went on
Middle
this
class
campaign,
black neighborhoods at that.
middle
Middle
class
class
black
black
neighborhood. Let's
neighborhoods.
be clear. Then they went on this campaign, basically putting whole black cities underwater. Let's just be honest. So you really believe that in the year of our Lord 2025, that what's happening to these legal immigrants is not gonna happen to us? They just told you they're gonna put U.S. citizens over there in El Salvador. You think this won't automatically be seen as violent? How many black people have been shot and gunned down from a simple traffic stop because they were deemed to be violent and the courts upheld it?
Period.
The courts upheld it.
But if you look at it through the lens of history, it's cyclical, right? Whenever we've gotten some major achievement, a major win, there is a white backlash every fucking time. This is our backlash for Obama. Because how dare you sit your ass in that goddamn White House? How dare you think that you can be on top of the totem pole? And for people saying that that's not why they voted for Trump the first time, they're fucking lying.
They are
Let's be clear.
absolutely lying.
This country has always hated us. It's never gave a fuck about us. And even when you look at the demographics of the people that they're deporting, right? Black, Latino, Muslim. That's who they're targeting. Black, Latino, Muslim. Now, they might catch a couple of them that are just on schools talking when they got that student visa. They can yank that shit pretty easily. Does it create a chilling effect on free speech? Sure. But they'll just say, well, they don't have the same rights as citizens. That's fine. And it's just like, well, they're not me. They're not my tribe. Tribalism is
No,
what's going to enable this shit to continue to happen, because so many people in America have this misconception that we're this highly individualistic fucking society. We're not. It's a bunch of fucking welfare queens in this goddamn society. Not too many people in this motherfucker pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. A lot of people are successful because of goddamn great granddaddy money. Let's be clear. The people that are getting it out of the mud, they're being called DEI hires.
But think about their hero and conservative bastion of conservatism, who done went down to the ninth level of hell, Antonin Scalia. He even said that as long as you are in the country, whether you're legal or illegal, the Constitution applies to them. They ain't even listening to him no more. And he was the bastion of conservatism on that raggedy ass Supreme Court.
It's just like, I think that when they look at it through the lens of like originalism, it's bullshit, because originally we were fucking property. So I don't need you looking at that shit at all. I don't need you looking at the originally we were 3/5 of a fucking person. If you really want to talk about it. And when people get uncomfortable when you have these conversations, we're black in fucking America. Our existence is inherently fucking political. Hell, modern day slave labor is fucking being in prison. That damn 13th Amendment, that's a motherfucker. That's legalized fucking slavery. Let's be clear. And let's also look at the disproportionate exonerations that occur. It's always black folks been in there 20, 30 goddamn years. They getting that free ass labor. Free ass labor. And then they have some formula for how much they can pay you now. Like, you took my freedom away from me for some shit I didn't do, and now you telling me, oh, we're only going to give you this much. Be happy your ass still ain't in there.
Tacos and Tequila, Article 1, the legislature has given up their complete power to Article 2, the presidency. Donald John says, I don't need approval from these people. He has listen, when he gutted these agencies who Congress appropriated money for, he had already said a big fuck you to the Congress, to the legislature. And the fact that they've allowed him to do this and have not wholesale brought him and all of his cabinet up for impeachment and removed them from office because they are in direct violation of the actual Constitution of these yet to be United States of America. Why would he feel like he needs to go to them for any type of approval? The Congress already approved and approved. He's removing funding from organizations and agencies and people, and these have been this is funding that was already approved in previous budgets, voted on, signed, and enacted. And he's saying, I'm not paying it. We just did, I sent you an article, Kamz, about the fact that those teacher grants that were appropriated, signed into law, and he said, I'm not paying it. And the Supreme Court says, no problem. You don't have to. The Supreme Court is backing him. Oh, I know it was a rhetorical question, Tacos and Tequila, but I'm glad you asked it, because what we have going on right now is the complete shutdown of every level of government. Complete shutdown. Y'all, I kept telling y'all were banking on Article 3, the judiciary, to hold up. The judiciary may hold up in some of the circuits, but inevitably, Donald John and his administration don't care. You want to know why? Because they're going to keep appealing until they get where? To the Supreme Court. And John
Or
Roberts
or
has
they
gone
go through the Fifth
straight
Circuit. They just go through the Fifth Circuit.
Bohica. Yeah, they're going either
It's going
Fifth
to create a
Circuit.
split. It's going to create a split. And we already know that the Supreme Court, with their conservative supermajority, are going to do his bidding. Let's be very clear. They are venue shopping when they do this. They're venue shopping. And look at it when the Supreme Court immediately jumps in when it's certain district courts. They immediately jump in to answer the question. But
Like
when
if it's DC,
Mhm. That's
New
exactly what I was
York,
thinking of.
Manhattan.
DC.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. It's very clear what they're trying to do. And John Roberts, that fucking weak ass bitch that he is, oh, it's just we call balls and strikes. No, bitch, you making the rules up. They done slid the money in your role. You calling all of the fouls on goddamn democracy and justice. You calling all of them. Oh no, that's foul. That's foul. That's ejection. That's egregious. That's flagrant. It's the fix has been in. When you look at the steps that they've taken during his first administration to ram these damn federal judges in, and let's be clear, you have goddamn Bush 2 and Bush 1 and Reagan appointees being like, the fuck is this shit? And shutting the damn administration down. And then you got these motherfuckers he just put up in there. I don't know where they went to law school at, to be quite frank, because it couldn't have been in the goddamn US because they did not study constitutional law. And they're just ramming this stuff through because they were like, oh, the president has all this power. If it was Obama black ass up in there, they will be fighting this shit tooth and goddamn nail. Tribalism is
And
going to ruin us all because
the most
politics is not
laughable.
goddamn team sports. It's not team sports. The law is what it is.
Listen,
You
Kamz,
can't
the
just
most
violate.
laughable shit in the world, the most disrespectful thing that I've seen since January 20th. Let me tell you the most disrespectful shit that I've seen since January 20th is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Mitch McConnell, acting like all of a sudden he got a problem with Donald John. You created this monster. Let's also, Dems, let's hold you to the carpet because I ain't going to give Republicans everything, Dem. I'm going to give you a little bit because in the year of our Lord, 2021, right, and 2022, you had all three branches. Let's be clear. In the year of our Lord, 2021, well, not all three branches. I'll say you had the two Article 1 and both branches, both chambers of Article 2. Okay. Now, you were here, Kamz. Everybody that was on my platform at the end of 2020, after the election, and all of 2020, the first half of 2021, what did I keep saying? You are not serious, Democrats and Joe Biden, if you do not add more members to the Supreme Court. I kept saying that. I kept saying,
You
if you're
told Joe to
not
wake up.
adding
Actually, you told Joe to
more,
wake his ass up.
I did tell him to wake his ass up.
That's what you
I
said.
said, if you are not serious about adding more people to the Supreme Court, you're not serious about helping us in this country because the shit's going to end up at the Supreme Court and we're going to be up the creek without a paddle. And they're going on this, oh, well, we've had this gentleman's agreement and it's been this way, so long. There is nothing in the Constitution that says that we have to have a certain number of Supreme Court justices. The only reason we have 9 at this point is because when we went up to 9 circuits, that's how we ended up with 9 members. And then when we went up to 11 circuits, they didn't add any more then. We have 13 circuits now, and we have not added any since we had 9 circuits. which was, I believe, Kamz, correct me if I'm wrong, that's over 100 years ago now.
This is
And
what
so my point is, you have a Supreme Court that right now, along with the presidency, that is using the Constitution for toilet paper. And y'all thought that y'all wanted to play nice with people who don't play nicely. Mitch McConnell broke every rule, and y'all got y'all ass in power and said, well, we're going to follow all of the rules. My thing is, if you're going to follow the rules, know the rules and know what you can do. And you knew the rules and you knew what you could do, and you still did not do that. And you are the reason why that Supreme Court is the way it was. Because when he broke the rules and did not allow Obama to get a Supreme Court justice in, even though Merrick Garland wasn't shit, and I'm kind of glad he ain't get on the Supreme Court, but still, you should have came in when Biden came in and y'all had both chambers of Congress. Fuck that shit. We pushing everybody. We pushing the shit through, and we finna get stacked the Supreme Court. Fuck the filibuster. Fuck it. Because
this is what I
I
got to say.
promise you what's about to happen.
This is what I got to say.
Republicans will get rid of the filibuster. They're not loyal to anything. They don't give a damn. And if the filibuster get in their way, and these few little Congress Republican senators get in their way, they will find a way to threaten them with being primaried. They will find a way. And they'll get rid of the filibuster and start to do things that the feckless ass Dems could not do.
Let's go back to Mitch McConnell. Let's go back to him, right? This is what I have to say for Mitch McConnell. The dog you sick on others will eventually turn on you.
The leopard is eating your face.
He was the mastermind, the puppet master, because he wanted to get all those conservative judges in at the federal level. He stymied Obama and the Supreme Court nomination. But now, all of a sudden, your attack dog, this person you thought you could control, is now fucking it up for you. He's fucking it up for the GOP. Let's be clear. Even amongst Republican polling, Trump is negative currently. And it's only going to get worse because we have not felt any of this terror shit yet. Why? Because of the supply chain. The resilience of the supply chain right now is the only reason why. People knew that this motherfucker was crazy. They tried to buy as much shit as they could while it was low. But eventually...
But summertime is coming. Summer is going to happen during the summer. Oh, please understand.
Oh, the roosters are home to roost.
No. Kamz, here's the deal. Let me paint this picture. Let's connect these dots, Kamz, right? You talked about the supply chain. I'll do you one better. Summertime is coming. Now, here's the perfect storm that we're about to deal with. Let me paint this perfect storm picture. Forecasters right now, before they were fired, said that this hurricane season could be even worse than last hurricane season, which was one of the worst hurricane seasons in modern history, right? Now, there's going to be a large need for supplies, for goods, for a lot of things that they need, many of which are not made here.
What the fuck?
A lot of the stuff you need are not made here.
Now, here's the thing though. This is the funny part. When they say certain stuff is made in America, no, bitch, final assembly occurs in America. All them goddamn parts that we need to assemble that shit, it's gonna get tariffed.
Is it right?
But they don't know that.
So now, right.
But
so now you're talking about. Okay. Girl. Oh yeah, and don't forget they want to dismantle FEMA as well. Don't forget that part too.
I hate to say this, but I hope people have the hurricane season, the tornado season that they fucking voted for. I do. So when you're left with nothing, you lose everything.
Governor Quasimodo a week before the tornadoes hit was saying, "Oh, well, and people need to learn to be self-sufficient because that's what we do here in Arkansas." Tornadoes hit, and that bitch got her hand out talking about we need funds. Really, Quasimodo? Really, Quasimodo? You know that bitch ain't shit.
You
But
know
she'll
what?
have
It's
y'all
like she walked in
eight
the
and 9 year
door.
old child out there by in the fields working because she don't believe in child labor laws.
I mean, they're not trying to do it in Florida either. They ain't trying to do it in Florida either. They're trying to relax those labor laws down there too. They're trying to do it in Alabama.
Hmm.
And it's not like we're not reading stories about, I don't know, some fucking Latino 14-year-old that was working a night shift, fell into some goddamn machinery and died. It's not like regulations are fucking written in blood or anything like that. I
Mm-mm.
mean, fuck it. Let's have the 6-year-olds back in the fucking coal mines. Fuck it. That's what
I
y'all
mean, we're
want.
here.
But you don't want it to be people that look like you. You want it to be people that are lesser than, in your opinion. They want the minorities out here working. That's what they want. Her big,
Like,
her Big Mac back ass. I can't stand that fat hoe.
I cannot stand that woman. God, I can't stand her. Oh my God. Governor Quasimodo, she has to be. I might dislike her more than I dislike Governor Hot Wheels. I'm just gonna be honest. I cannot stand. It was her as press secretary that really, really, the way she would stand at that podium and basically, oh man, the way she used to go in on people at that damn podium. Oh my God. Oh, let me tell you. Oh, I just couldn't. I can't.
I want to fight that hoe. I do. Like when she was
Me
White House
too.
president. But honestly, the new one, Caroline Levitt, whatever her name is, I
She she
loathe.
she's 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 trying to get. She's trying to be on the level of
I loathe
Quasimodo. She
her.
is.
I loathe her. I loathe her. Like
Like she make you want to just punch her in the face.
I just
I
I
don't know about punching Quasimodo because Quasimodo kind of big. She might hit me back. That bitch
no
is
look.
huge.
Like her appetite it's immense. She gonna eat that fucking punch just like she eat every goddamn thing
Qua-
else around her.
Quasimodo might fuck me up. I'm gonna have to shoot that bitch. Okay, I'm gonna have to shoot her ass because I can't be fighting Quasimodo. That's a big bitch.
She go
But
look.
that Caroline Levitt, oh bitch, I get my little sister to go fight her. Fuck that bitch up because my sister like to fight and she'll fuck that bitch up.
I love the fact that these people really think we finna bring manufacturing back. Baby, the billionaire class is upset with Trump right now because he fucking up their profits. They said we finna send this shit overseas. We not trying to pay y'all Americans shit. We want y'all to be some goddamn serfs, peasants. We try to take it all the way back to feudalism over. We not trying to pay y'all nothing. Okay? And then they were like, oh, y'all want to have all these labor laws and shit? Well, fine. We coming up with AI. We not finna pay y'all shit. We finna lay you motherfuckers the fuck out. We don't know what y'all gonna do, but we will not be paying you. We will not be compensating you properly. I mean, offshoring has been a thing. They were like, oh, people are gonna be reshoring. We're reshoring things that are critical to national security. That's it. If the average American has to pay more money, that's a sacrifice the billionaire class is willing to make. That is a sacrifice they're willing to make. As long as their money's not fucked up, they don't care. Oh, coffee? The coffee belt? Yeah, America's not in that shit. The coffee belt? Absolutely not. Occurs way further south than us. So if you like coffee, guess what? You finna start paying for that shit. If you thought Starbucks
Starbucks
was
was
bad,
already charging people $20 for a cup of coffee. Now it's about to go up to $40.
I mean, I'm like, do we think about any of this shit before we do? And I'm not like Kamari. They don't think actually. They just execute. And I love the fact that we're seeing Elon Musk call Peter Navarro a moron. And I was like, a moron calling another moron a moron is hilarious to me. Because they've had these billionaires' personal friends begging Trump, don't do these tariffs. You don't know shit about the economy. Hey, you was riding high on Obama. Then you fucked it up, and then Biden came in and cleaned it up. You don't know shit. Just sit there,
But yet,
on your executive
but
orders, and be quiet.
but yet Trump is out here saying that on Kamala Harris's first day, she was going to cause the Great Depression.
But look,
And
this
we're
is all I
here.
have to say. Whenever these people be complaining about Trump on Facebook and shit, look, Samir, I'm mad about the Nintendo Switch, baby. I'm very upset with that. Look, I'm not gonna lie, my mama saw me spike the fuck out once I saw that goddamn news. Cause I had my pre-order email and they yanked that shit faster than this. We're gonna have to
Cause they,
reevaluate the cost due to
yep,
U.S.
they show.
incentives.
Listen, yeah, listen. All you gamers, all you Joe Rogan supporters, all y'all motherfuckers that wanted all parts of MAGA, let me know how that works for you. Because any game that you need now is going to go up probably twice, be double what you paid now.
I'm gonna say
Just
it.
be prepared.
They already said that, like, because Nintendo said that the physical copies of their Switch 2 games will be $90. And I know the gamers don't want to hear this, but adjusted for inflation, games have been cheap for a while. So it was gonna go up anyway. It was gonna fucking happen. Let's be clear. It was gonna happen. But I will say, these gaslighters, I think that they're not as effective as they could be because people are starting to see how it impacts them. Because we know that the GOP is only good for gaslighting, obstructing, and projecting. Once that shit doesn't work, now that they can't rely on this culture war shit, what do they have? When you can't pit these minority groups against each other, or if you can't convince poor white people to vote against their, interests anymore, what do you have to hold over these people? Because I'm gonna be quite frank, even in red rural ass Minnesota, you have people that are refusing to come to town halls because the people that voted for Trump are fucking furious at the moment. The shit is crumbling. Okay, we know people are finally starting to realize the emperor has no fucking clothes on. It's a flabby ass orange motherfucker with loose skin everywhere. Ugh, wearing a diaper. The reality is sinking in. And I think some people are just like, damn, I really got taken for a fucking ride. Now that it's impacting them, now that they can't get their Switch too, it's a problem. Now that dream car that they saved up for just got all them goddamn tariffs added to it. Wait a fucking minute. This car getting a little too expensive. What the fuck is going on? Oh, now you mad.
Mm-mm.
Now you mad.
Too late for that.
It's too late for that. It's too late. And then people still ask why the black folks ain't out protesting. Baby, they arresting people and disappearing them. They'll get you before they get me. I'm not finna have my black ass out there. I'm not going to El Salvador. I don't speak Espanol. Cause somebody asked me
I
that
might go
today.
find me a I might go find me a good man in the El Salvador in prison. I'll be his boo
Have
thing.
you been to an El Salvador in prison?
Listen, I'll adjust.
I ain't never that desperate for no companionship, baby. I'm gonna stay my black ass over here.
I
Why?
mean, I'll get me some food.
You right.
He'll
Look,
take care
a
of
few
me.
rights left. Let me say
He'll
it like
fight
that.
for
Because
me.
bitch, the right to vote might be gone in a minute. How they fucking around with us, disappearing people from the
Trying to tell
goddamn
you.
from the from the voter rolls, trying to steal elections in North Carolina. This shit is so absurd that it's funny to me. That's how I feel about this country right now. This shit isn't reality. You see, I'm in outer space right now because none of this shit makes sense. None of it makes sense. And I'm mad. I'm really mad because my car is on its last legs. My little 2012, she's done me well. And looking at these new car prices, I did not vote for this. Why must I suffer with you idiots? Why must we suffer with them?
Right.
Why does
Why
my
poor sir
401k
have to
have to
do
go
that to me?
out?
We did what we were supposed to do, and now we gotta suffer with these bastards.
Look, why the plague gotta hit my house too? I had nothing to do with this.
He did a goddamn thing. They
I
bothering
I
us.
show up to work. I went to the voter polls. Why I got to suffer with y'all? I know misery love company, bitch, but not mine. But that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. It's
Here we
like
are.
I have to laugh every day because this shit is so dystopian at this point. It's dystopian. I see why Elon Musk trying to get his ass to goddamn Mars. Okay, I see why you want to go because Earth is ghetto and I want to leave. I don't want to be here no more. I cannot.
If we got to be here, you got to be here.
I can't breathe the same air as these motherfuckers. These mouth breathers. I feel like some of these people that voted for Trump, they should have to do hard labor. Okay, and by hard, because y'all was a little too late to fight climate change, I want you motherfuckers to plant trees every day until you die to replace the oxygen that you waste with your existence. That's what I need the punishment to be for some of these people. Because we finna go through some pain. We haven't even gotten there yet, and people are already getting uncomfortable. I don't know what my white friends gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. Cause we built for this. We resilient. We have to be. Because America hates us. But when it get tough for other people, baby, what's gonna happen? What they gonna do, y'all? I don't know.
Listen,
Cause you know what we gonna do? We gonna give us an old nasty church hymn hum, and we gonna be all right, huh? We gonna be all right. We might be a little broke from the
I'm moving to
401k.
Minnesota and I'm sleeping in the basement down to Cam's house. Okay, I know I got me a spot in the basement down to Cam's house, so I can move. They got enough blankets and coats and jackets. I could be warm. I
You
can
know,
find
look,
another way to stay warm
you could
too.
come on up here. We can go to the Mall of America. We could look at all these folks window shopping because nobody can't afford shit no more.
Oh God.
Woo! Whoo! Whoo!
Oh boy.
I
Cam's listen. I hope y'all appreciate how me and Cam's spend a lot of time making this shit palatable and enjoyable to try to laugh at this shit. Cause this shit is disgusting and scary as hell. Okay. And listen, not having the rent parties like they did on Good Times, God.
we finna be good times. And we better hope
Be
we ain't
like,
got no Florida Evans preventing us from getting out the hood.
nah, be like that lady on Good Times that was eating the dog food and stuff. Remember the lady on Good Times? She had no damn money. She was
Look,
eating the damn dog food.
you know what we finna be doing? Hanging in a child line.
No, what's so funny is, wait a minute. Hot Ned the wino damn homeless, but he always found him a drink. I praise the
Baby, where there's a will,
resiliency
there's a
of
way.
the unhoused because one thing the unhoused is gonna have, they're gonna have them a drink and they're gonna have them some drugs. They're gonna find a way.
You know what they was doing for it?
Well, then there's that.
Baby,
And
selling
sometimes
it.
I done did that and I ain't got a fuck thing. I ain't got a drink out of it. I ain't got, well, maybe if they take me out, I might get something to eat and something to drink.
Honestly,
But still,
you know what? That's real. I'm gonna tell you that backstage. I'm not gonna say.
yeah, we gonna wait backstage.
I'll say that backstage. I've been on one today. If you have not noticed, I'm not trying to say too,
Mm.
but I say that backstage. But Ned big and ass, that bitch stayed with a drink. Okay,
He did.
stayed with one.
Always had what it had.
I'm telling you, we gonna be in the child line. This look, they done already cut all this damn federal
Hanging in
funding.
the child
They done
line.
already impacted the soup kitchens.
We gonna be hanging in the child line with fans doing line dances. Okay?
That's my
We gonna
favorite
be
part.
hanging in the child line like this. We gonna be like this in the child line doing line dances like this. Doing whole line dances in the fucking child line. Oh,
Look,
child.
I
Mm-mm-mm.
just don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say no more. But these people better stop asking me for money. Cause I responded today and it was real assholeish. You want a donation? Bitch, go
Not what
find
I'm
that money I
saying,
lost in
man.
my 401k. Find that money. If you can find that money, that's your donation.
Mm.
Type of stuff we need to resist. I've been resisting. I've been resisting since I was born on this motherfucker. Get somebody else to do
Child.
it. Get somebody else to do it. Mm-mm. We on
Lord.
sabbatical right now,
Child.
baby. They're like, what a black folk. We in the child line. So we not at the damn protest. We for to eat.
Hanging in the child line.
We at
Scratching
the
and
repast.
surviving.
That what we at. We at the repast. Eating them fried chicken, them damn green beans. We at the repast.
Getting them check sodas from Winn Dixie, okay? That chicken
That's
box from
and I
Publix,
look.
okay?
I miss my peach check drinks so fucking bad.
Ooh, a good peach check, bitch, because they don't have no Winn Dixie up here either. A good check grape, a check peach. Oh, that peach check. Even the check ginger ale was good, quiet as it's kept. But the fruit
It
punch check
was.
is good as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The fruit punch check, but the peach check will make you slap somebody. I'll fight you about the peach
I will
check.
fight you over the
Okay.
last one. I will fight you over the last one.
I'm just telling you what I know. Yeah.
Look,
Some
Sotomayor,
good
like
check sodas.
baby, I hope she can last through this damn administration. I really hope she can last. Cause they gonna have she be spiking the fuck out in her dissents. Jackson, she be spiking the fuck out in her dissents. I think they're gonna have a heart attack.
Well, my problem with Sonya is they tried to get Sonya to retire during Biden because Sonya has been having some medical issues.
She look like it
And
too.
and what we don't want Sonya to do is check out of here while this man is there. And now we have a whole 7-2 Supreme Court.
Baby, let me tell you something. The hubris of people that are in some of these spaces and places, it's not shocking that they consistently make these what I would call errors in judgment. I mean, you've met some of these people. The egos on these
Mm.
folks. I would almost think they had I was like, if they could implant egos, these motherfuckers would be walking around like these women with damn BBLs. Cause the way some of these people are delusional. They believe they're the smartest person in the room. And I'm just like, baby, if it wasn't for your connection, you would not be here. Because you don't compete when you don't compare. But this is our reality right now. So, I
Here we
mean,
are.
I'm going to
Here
laugh
the
every goddamn
fuck
day.
we are.
I'm going to laugh every. And let me tell you, let me give you a little tea. Two of my coworkers, they voted for his ass, mad every day. They be mad every day. My goddamn
Why they
401k.
mad?
I'm just like, this brings me joy, bitch. This brings me joy. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Now my problem is if the tariffs hit my crabs, we gonna have a problem. I'm burning all this shit down. If they put tariffs on my motherfucking crabs, well, they did away with Noah, and so that controls, the fisheries and the waterway. They,
Bitch, you better take
they
your.
help.
Well, if they overfish that Alaskan king crab, I won't be eating no more crab no more. I guess because I'm not paying no tariff for no goddamn on no fish,
Right.
no seafood.
Listen, I'm gonna go
But oh
right
shit,
now before it goes up. I'm
my
gonna take about a good $1,000, right?
my good wagyu
And
steak.
I'm gonna empty my freezer. I got the big freezer over there. And I'm gonna put all I'm gonna put boxes and boxes of crabs in there. So So that way, before the tariffs come, I could do it.
Terrence, you know I goddamn did. I sure the fuck did. I don't give a fuck. What they gonna do? Let me go? I go find another goddamn job. A bitch is credentialed.
No, we're not eating no imitation crab, Chimera. That's what we not gonna do. We're not doing imitation crab. No, we're not.
Look, if my goddamn, damn it, yeah, yeah, they're increasing the tariffs on the Japanese wagyu. Like they can go right to hell. I love me a little wagyu steak. You know, I like to dine
Mm,
in nice places when I travel for work. So
sure. I know we see it all the time.
I'll be in DC later this month. Hopefully, I get to see my really be. I ain't gonna
She's
see.
gonna
She
be
always
staying you up.
really be
Right.
ducking and
She'll
dodging.
always staying you up.
Really be ducking and dodging me like she owe child support. Like, baby, I'm just
We
trying to
gotta
have
go
this.
back to that spot we went to, Cam's, when you was here the last time. I gotta go back. I don't forgot the name of that spot. The beer spot.
Was it poorhouse, tap house? I don't know.
I forgot what it was. I have to go back and remember.
Oh my god, what
I'll
was it?
be at Charlie's Steakhouse in when I'm in Orlando next week. That's one of the best steakhouses I've ever been to in my life. And I'd have been to steakhouse is way more expensive than them, but Charlie's is still their steaks are better.
Was it poor tap room?
Like I could get me a good wagyu. I could get me a good wagyu for 178 from them.
I went to a place in Boston. It was on the water. It was a vendor meal. Um, I definitely chose the most expensive steak, and then they paired it with like a $1,600 bottle of wine. It was an
Mhm.
immaculate dinner that I did not pay for.
Yeah, I did that.
I
I
said, "Is this
treated
what girls
myself.
be feeling like when they be getting flued out? Is this what they feel
Listen,
like?"
I treated myself to a meal one time. My appetizer was 112 alone.
But you ain't got no money.
And it was so enjoyable. I
But
had
you ain't got no money.
3 glasses of wine, and those glasses
Let
of
me let me
wine
let me say this
sent
one
me
more
to a
time.
happy place.
But you ain't got no money.
I ain't got no
You got no
money.
money
I
now.
got flued out. That was when I was flued out.
Look, if that's what it feel to be flued out, I said I see why they selling it now. I see why they selling it.
Yeah, I gotta sell this
This
good
is
over
an
here.
addictive feeling. Okay,
I
being
gotta
wined
sell this
down like
thing.
that, I like that. I like that because everybody, I end up with like, oh, I like to be taken care of. No, take care of me. It was Poor Tap Room in Midtown. I'm
Oh,
fairly certain that's what it was.
you sure that was it? Because we put the little wristbands on. That was a cute
Yeah,
place.
It was Poor Tap
Hmm.
Room. You
Hmm.
picked it out, hell.
I did pick it out. What's so funny is really be at Abby tells me all the time. I always have to pick the spots, and they say I always pick the right spot because Atlanta got some real funky rules to their restaurants
I'm gonna be
and
honest. When
real
Keith Lee was
bad
down there, I was
places.
like, Keith Lee's not wrong. Cause my
Oh,
oldest
he
brother,
wasn't wrong at all.
my oldest
Keith
brother stays
Lee
in
told the entire truth on Atlanta. Cha.
I believe they be using
Anyway, y'all, we've been on here
restaurants.
an hour and 23 minutes.
That shit a money
Me and
laundering.
Cam's got to get out of here.
I do. I got things to do. I got things to do. Yes, we need to go. Look, when I come back to Atlanta, you need to take me back there because I actually enjoyed several of those beers, and I would not consider myself a beer drinker. I prefer a nice classic cocktail or
And
six.
they had the remember they had the bar upstairs too.
Hmm.
With and they had the full bar upstairs too, so you could go up there and
I think
have a regular drink.
we went live. We went live that night.
We
We
did
did,
go live for a little bit.
and then I think we watched when we were up on the third floor. We watched the game because it was a game on. Because you love some sports. Can y'all put the TV on? I said this mother, this mother.
People don't know that about me. They don't know. Remember, I used to have a whole fantasy football show every Sunday. Really be still me out because I don't do my fantasy football
You know what?
show on Sunday.
I enjoy it just from like the stats perspective, but I'm not a watcher of the sports outside of the soccer or football that is known in the rest of the globe.
Nobody watches soccer.
I played it in high school.
Football. Football.
I mean, plus like my coworker, he's Nigerian. He's when the World Cup come around, you ain't got no choice but to get into it too. You ain't got no choice.
Mm. They just be running
I'm about to
around.
start meal prepping. Hell, that's what I'm about to start doing. Just meal prep. I hate that shit, but I'm gonna have to start doing it because the way eggs continue to goddamn go up. I said I
I
don't
don't
even
eat
think
eggs like
anything
that.
wrong with these birds no damn more. Y'all just realized we was paying this shit. Y'all were like, well, fuck it. Why put it back down?
Well, Janae, if you come to Atlanta, let me know. We can go somewhere. I'll find somewhere to go.
Look, what we
Anyway,
talking
Kamz,
about
we
today?
got to get up out of here. This is my second show today, and you saw I was on a meeting this evening after my live.
Yeah, we almost canceled because somebody couldn't get off that goddamn conference call.
I couldn't get off that conference call. Lord.
Look, I love all my Alabama black folks. I love y'all for real. Okay, you got to be strong to live in that motherfucker, racist ass bastard. Minnesota's no better though. Let me be clear. I just make more money here, so you have to properly compensate me for my oppression.
Mess.
I'm
Anyway,
just
Kamz, what do you got to say to the people before we get out of here?
as we showed y'all tonight. You can be informed, but you can still laugh at the bullshit. If look, find something every day that you can smile at because I feel like it's very easy to get caught up in this gloom and doom. For those of you who are not looking at your 401ks, don't. If you know your mental like can't handle that shit, don't do it. Just find you some shit to laugh at. Be around your support system. I get on a call with my friends every night and we cut the fuck up. We do. We do. Just smile. Like if you find something to smile at, laugh at every day, that was a day that was worth living. El Teddy?
I concur. Find little things that you know can make you happy. You know what I do? I play the original Zelda for the original Nintendo, the very first Zelda. I played that game over and over and over. And I did not beat that game until I was 35 years old, let's be clear. But the original Zelda, I downloaded it to my computer and I just play it. And I've beaten it like 3 times so far, but
I
it gives me happiness. I have a friend who finds happiness in porn. That's what he does. He loves it, and it keeps him grounded, and it keeps him from losing it. And I say, if that makes you happy, find new things. Some people like to smoke and come up with you know conspiracy theories from their uh from being imbibed with
lubricant.
freaking weed,
I
a little
mean,
cannabis.
is it really a
Do what you
conspiracy if
got
they
to do
are
to
out to
keep
get
yourself grounded.
is it a conspiracy if they are out to get you though?
Who?
You know who.
I do.
Yeah. If they are out to get you, is it really a conspiracy? Okay, Ronnie, I know what that said. I wouldn't live there, but I know what that said. Hopefully she got out.
That sounds like a sundown town.
To be honest, there are a lot of sundown towns that people are just totally unaware that are sundown towns. Or historically they were
Mm-hmm.
sundown towns and now they're white suburbs. Affluent white suburbs, but sundown towns nonetheless. Also, we need to do
I think I'm gonna go watch.
we need
Oh,
to do
I got caught up.
that's what we need to do because we need to go to
What?
the Smithsonian because they're gonna try to cut funding and shit. So we need to
Yeah, they're
go.
gonna shut that down. They already said the first floor. If you've ever been to the African American History Museum, you know the bottom floor, the one all the way at the bottom. That's the slavery floor. That's the floor that you got to brace yourself before you go
You
through that
had
floor.
to
I'm just telling you.
I had to put myself together because it was some white people down there, and it took everything in me to not start swinging on it. And they ain't have nothing to do with it, but that shit was
Mm-hmm.
traumatic.
Yeah, no, that first floor is very traumatic, and
But when they were talking about the
it
Catholic
will
Church, I said I knew I didn't trust them folks.
listen. When I tell you, it will stop you in your tracks, and it will make you understand what this. And they're trying to shut down that whole first floor. That's
And I
that's
feel
the
like
first floor to go.
it's what they've been doing with history with us, period. Because let's be clear, we are woven into the fabric of this country. Black history is American history. You got to teach the good, the bad, and the ugly, because when these kids now don't have context and nuance, they go through life with blinders. They're missing the patterns that are continuing to happen. It's intentional.
But I've said for a long time, Camps, I've said this over and over that black people are going to have to look to our indigenous brothers and sisters who had their whole history eliminated and erased.
Erased.
Our indigenous brothers and sisters, we don't know right now, we don't know the real stories of what happened, the real, true, and full stories of what happened to the indigenous people in this country. And that was on purpose. And they're going to do that. And the way most Americans believe that the people that came here have a right to this place, and they did not. What they know about this country is altered history. And I have to say, there's a good possibility our own black children will be taught that us being here was a good thing.
No, it wasn't. And I'll say this: the miseducation of the Negro continues. Um, but
Shout out to
it,
W.E.B. Du Bois.
it continues. Um, but we've made it through. We can continue to make it through, but I think that we have to have our own backs, because as we've seen historically, we go to the voting booth and we think about everybody else because we know how it feels to have that sniper scope on you at any time. We know how that feels. So we have this empathy that I don't think we. I mean, I'm running out of shorts. I've been out of that shit, to be honest. My birthday, I was out of empathy. Okay, I was done January the 20th of this year with empathy. I'm fresh out. Okay, I don't have any empathy, but I care about my people, which is why I continue to come up here. Even though a lot of these stories on a like, I'm upset on a visceral level. Like I be wanting to break shit because I can see the patterns. I can see the subtle malicious actions that they're taking. And like America's like, oh, we don't care. It doesn't impact us. And that's frustrating. It really is. It really is. But we have an important job to do, which is why we do it. This is why it's episode 26. Because we were just supposed to do it until the election, right? And then we didn't think that,
Mhm.
the fucking apocalypse was going to come and we're going to elect the goddamn Antichrist again.
And
But
here we are.
here we are, right? But our
Here the fuck
history
we
is
are.
important and we're going to continue to tell it. We're going to continue to tell it.
Shout out to our Black History moment. Somebody asked me in a DM, told me I need to bring back the Black History moments. I see. And I was like, you just don't understand. That'd be a lot of work.
I would love to have a segment where we just talk about little known Black history facts and how that ties us current. Because I remember I was talking to girl. I'm not gonna lie. This interracial dating shit is hard. Because like if you know, you know. Okay. If you know, look, Lake Lanier. If you know, you know. Seneca Village in
Mm,
modern day,
mm.
Central Park. If you
Central
know,
Park.
you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like it's so many things that they're not educated on. They don't have this viewpoint that we have because we were born and raised in it. We were nurtured by this history, right? So people wonder like, oh, you have a chip on your shoulder. It's not that I have a chip on my shoulder. It's just that I know what these people are fucking capable of. And one thing I did enjoy about going to that Smithsonian in DC, because my best friend and I went in November, all the race riots that they had And people just think, oh, it was just in the South. They had them in California.
Mm-mm.
They had a shit ton of them in Utah, Oregon, New York. So this whole
Iowa.
South is racist
Listen,
thing,
go look up the black people over in Iowa. There was black people in Iowa that was about that life. Let's be
they
clear.
were about
They
that
were
action.
all over the
Let's be
place.
clear. They
Mm-hmm.
were about that action.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when I see these weak ass bitches rolling over and giving up, bitch, I could never. As much as my people went through, and to be quite frank, the town I grew up in, it was a whole race riot there that they never told us to fuck about. I learned about that shit in college. I learned about it in college. They just try to gloss over shit. And it's like a lot of these people that were my educators, okay, they voted for that orange motherfucker. And their grandparents were terrorizing my ancestors. Like let's be clear. This nation hasn't changed nearly as much as we think it has.
Tracy, to answer your question, I don't know if it has a virtual tour for that museum, but I will say if you get anywhere around the Washington, D.C. area, you owe it to yourself. Go to the African American History Museum, go to the Martin Luther King Memorial,
Memorial.
go to Frederick Douglass's house,
Mhm.
and things like that. There are some places that you absolutely want to go to because every time I go to Memphis, I have to go to the Lorraine Motel. And every time I go to the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, you literally, when you walk up to it, it's like everything kind of stops and you get warped into this time, machine. And you literally feel like you're placed back in 1968. It literally feels like every time I go to the Lorraine Motel, certain places that are. I've been to the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and I've been there to commemorate at one of the commemorations. They have it every March, but I've been to one of the commemorations of the March on Edmund Pettus Bridge, and there are certain things that you definitely want to visit. But I would say if you've not gone to the African American History Museum, go before they it down.
Before they
Um,
shut up. Because I'm trying to go again later this month.
Because it takes multiple days. It's a lot. And if you're gonna
8
do
hours
it
is
all
not
at
enough
one
time.
time,
8 hours is not enough time. It's
yeah,
not.
it's gonna take multiple days because you have how many floors do they have? 5? Is it 5 or 6 floors? I forgot how many floors it is.
It's the main thing. Then you go up the escalator, and then those are rotating too. So like when I
Like
went,
there's like 5 floors. The floor that I told you about first was the the first bottom floor, which is the slavery floor. But then they have floors for a whole lot of other,
it
like they
goes
have
all
floors
the
for
way up to
entertainment
the
and
election of
culture.
Obama. It goes all
Hmm.
the way up to the election of Obama, and it's like that is a lot of
So
history to go through. And then you have one of the things that I really liked. They had all of the notable black veterans because it will always stay with me when my great grandfather, I was what, 5? When he told me the proudest thing that he was able to do was to buy a house because when he came home, he couldn't get an education through the GI Bill and he couldn't get a VA home loan. And he fought in World War II. He said, I fought for this country. I came back and I was treated like shit. So he said, you always need to have your own. He said, this is the proudest thing this is my crowning achievement. I was able to buy a house. I ain't have no help. I did it myself. I got it out the mud. And I was like, I respect that. So seeing all of these black people that I'd never heard about, okay, and then that are not on the website anymore because, I mean, DEI, I guess. Like, I don't fucking know. But it's, it connects you because I sometimes feel disconnected because I was like, how do we get here? Because they never tell you like the full history. They don't tell you a lot of shit. But it's overwhelming how you feel like you are a part of something greater than yourself. And I believe that after I left, I have to go harder because I can't let the people that came before me down. And that's why I'm up here every week. Even though this shit pisses me off, I ain't gonna lie. This shit pisses me off. I be mad a lot, but I
we
can't give
do.
in to helplessness. I can't do that. But if my
That's
Switch
why
2
I be
don't
going
come,
so hard.
if my Switch 2 does not come this summer,
That's why I switch.
Second Amendment
That's why I be
activity.
spiking out. I be spiking out like I did yesterday when people have this apathetic attitude and they say, well, we just gonna sit out. And that's why I get so angry because I just know we that's just not us. We're not a people that just say we just gonna sit out and say I'm tired, I'm not doing no more because that's just not who we are. We've never been that. And that's why I get angry when I hear young people say we are not our ancestors. Because in my mind, I'm like, you wish you were your ancestors because they were about that life. They didn't sit down and take it. Them bastards fought, all of them, all the way through the middle, the middle passage at all. They fought. They don't teach you about all of the slave ships that either got wrecked, that did not make it,
The slavery
where people
floor, when you saw all of the names of those ships, the slaves that got loaded up in Africa and the slaves that made it, how many people died on that journey? My God, today. Like when I tell you, people always have this misconception that I'm mad, that I'm angry. No, bitch, I'm passionate. I'm passionate because I feel that if we give up, we are failing future generations. And as we've seen with some of the kids, Gen Z, this ain't the future that Whitney. These kids ain't. She wasn't singing about them. I not them COVID tablet
technically
kids.
at that time she was singing about millennials because that song came out in 1985 and millennials were being born at that time. So millennials are the ones that she was saying are her future, and a lot of them ain't shit.
Look, I'm a millennial and I feel like I am shit.
But I do have more faith in millennials than I do in my like I'm the very tail end of Gen X. I'm the like the last year of Gen
Honestly,
X,
y'all have
right?
become out swinging recently. Gen X is known
Gen
for
X has failed. I believe that my generation, Generation X, has fucking failed. We failed. Generation X, our parents failed us because they were a part of the Cosby generation and they were a part of the
respectability
late
politics,
80s.
motherfuckers.
They were part of the late 80s, early 90s, where black people started to become more middle class, the 80s and 90s, and they were lulled into this false sense of security that things were better and things like that. So a lot of that fight
I
was
don't.
was not taught because they didn't feel like it was going to be a need for it anymore because they thought we had, we were turning the corner, and here we are.
Once Obama got elected, and I just saw the shit for what it was, and I was like, we need to get back to grassroots organizations. We need to get back to having um, places and spaces where people can congregate again, especially amongst our community. Um, it reminds me of Robert Putnam's book, Bowling Alone. And when you look at the polarization that happens in society, it's because we've sort of secluded ourselves in our own little echo chambers. You don't. I mean, I'm gonna be quite frank. Most people I work with, bitch. If we weren't hired on the same team, I would not fuck with y'all. Like, let's just be clear. But I think that when you have this eroding sort of social fabric, it's very easy for people to seek community online and become very radicalized. And that's what's happened with a lot of Gen Z actually. Um, I'm looking at that from the perspective of, your boy applied for a PhD program. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'm kind of looking at for my dissertation, like social media algorithms and how easy it is to manipulate people, especially when you look at the last two elections we've had. Remember how Palestine and Gaza was such a hot topic, and then Trump won the election and we didn't hear shit about it. We didn't hear nothing about that no more. But it people were so
Mm.
passionate about that, it drove engagement, and then that's why I think social media is really dangerous because it wants to get you upset because you click more, you argue with people in the comments more, and it makes them more money. They don't give a fuck if it destroys democracy or not. So that's why we have to create our own communities to educate our own, because they're not gonna find this information on. It's too easy to go down these rabbit holes, and then either you think the shit is hopeless, or you get looped into this alt right podcast bullshit. Why do people even listen to Joe Rogan? Like, who the fuck is he? Like, I don't get it. But I will say, like, the GOP, they got that alternative media shit on lock. They do. I'm gonna get drunk tonight. I'm gonna drink a bottle of wine. I need it after this. I got some ice wine. I've been saving it for a special day where I get pissed off. I think tonight's the night.
I think I still do. I still got that bottle in there.
Because some that I was planning for just fell through. So I'm immensely furious right now.
We'll talk about it backstage. Y'all, we about to get up out of here. We've been on here a long time. You better not say shit to me. You have kept us on here. Don't tell me shit.
Then you say the people came for me.
They do come for you.
I had to
They
get the
don't
people
come
what
for
they
you.
wanted tonight. But I had a
You
lot
did
on
help
my
the other
heart
people.
that I really did want to get out. This has been cathartic for me. So thank you for allowing me to express myself on your platform. I really sincerely appreciate it.
I told you the people come here for you. They're not here for me.
We're here to see you spike out, because one thing
I'm
about it,
here
when you do
dressing.
spike out, you might think we're just like enamored by the antics. It makes me feel like I'm not alone in my response, because I like the same shit you be doing. Huh? That's me, but I'm just trying to get out of that. Be demure, because you're a professional. I'm done with the respectability politics shit at this point. Okay, we've thrown all the norms out the window. I'm finna let these balls hang all the way out now. So like
Not letting the balls hang.
you spiking out just makes me feel like I'm not alone. That look, we love you. That's why we're here. And you may think like, y'all just like to see me mad. No, we know it's passion. We know that you care, and that's why I come to the platform. That's why I be in the bushes a lot. I don't always comment because I be in meetings and shit, but I watch. I send a like because I have to support this, because our media is not giving us this. If not you, then who? Right?
Yeah. And like I definitely enjoy being able to come and bring you stuff, because I know even days when I'm tired, because a lot of days I will venture to tell you, at least 3 days out of the week, I'll be like, I'm not going live. I just need to lay down. And I'm just
Ah,
not gonna do that. I'm just gonna lay down.
us backstage
I
before the show.
literally do.
Us backstage before the show.
Oh
Woo.
God.
Look, we be like, look, we ain't finna be on here for too long. 2 hours later.
But and see me tomorrow at 5 p.m. for another sugar spike.
Look, I'll be getting right out of a meeting at that time, so I'm gonna slide right on in here tomorrow. I'm gonna just church think, hey y'all, excuse me. This is an excuse tardy. Excuse me. Let me get in the front. Thank you. But just thank you for being you, sir. Thank you for being consistent. And I think that's the hard part about some of this, because this they've been doing a lot of shit. It hasn't even been 365 days, and you are breaking news before most people even have an inkling of what the fuck is going on. And that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy and dedication. Cause this look, me with them stories this morning. Oh my God. I said he do this and he do this for run your mouth? And where does the time go? But I
And from where
sincerely,
your mouth, I be having to pull pictures and stuff and
yeah.
make
That's
thumbnails
right.
and stuff.
I still love me a silly Saturday, even though I had to catch a replay because I be a little too high. I do wake up high on Saturday at about 4 p.m.
We
So
know.
I do
We
be missing
know.
Silly Saturday, but I do be catching the replay. I love me a Silly
Silly
Saturday.
Saturday. People be thinking I'd be making that up. Silly Saturday takes about 5 or 6 hours. Easy. A prep. 5 or 6 hours. Easy for Silly Saturday.
Look,
Easy 5 or 6
speaking of
hours.
prep, when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah, that's true.
No, because we know you got a Buddha call
I got a
coming
prep
tonight.
shot next week. Got my prep shot next week already ready.
They finna cut their insurance. Ain't finna cover that no more. So
Yeah, well, my
get ready.
insurance is gonna cover it. I got good insurance. I go fuck them hoes up.
I be look.
So
Hopefully we can spike out tomorrow. Ooh, I'm hoping we can spike out tomorrow.
we're supposed to do a teacher project tomorrow too.
I be
So I got to
spiking out
get
about
that.
education. I went up to the school board meeting. I had to
I
cuss a
do the
bitch out.
I do the content for Teacher Project 2.0. So
I had to cuss a bitch out. You would have been proud of me. I had to cuss a bitch out because that ain't what I asked you about this education plan. Because teacher project, you were like, you can go up there, you can ask. Your taxes paid for it. I said I can. I took my ass up. Because why the fuck we
and
gonna
you talk to the secretary at the front desk.
She looked like she didn't want to be there.
They never
She
do
like,
that. That's a defense mechanism. They do that purposely. Let me teach you. Let me give you some insight. They purposely give you attitude and put on a bad face to scare people off and make them not want to come back or ask them more questions. They do that on purpose.
she must not know I'm an old
Hmm.
nasty ass January Capricorn. Your attitude is nothing compared to what I could be. Now we can keep this nice and professional, or I can take it to hell. Which one you want?
Come on, January
I'm a
Capricorns.
I'm a nasty ass January Capricorn too. I'm very fucking petty. I'm in therapy trying to work on some shit, and at this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't think the problem's fucking me. If these people just wouldn't do the dumb shit they would do, I wouldn't go the fuck off. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. Maybe that's a Capricorn thing. I don't know. But if it don't make sense, why are we doing it? Like these long ass meetings that you was on. This could have been an email, sir. Why are you still I need you to talk a little bit about the meeting during your live tomorrow. Cause that one man went on for 7 minutes about nothing.
He did. And you saw me sitting here like, sir,
Ah!
sir, what are you talking about? What are we talking about?
I was upset because it
We
wasn't
get
group
up off it. Y'all, we get up off here, okay? We'll be back next week, Tuesday, okay?
Don't hit him with the outro. Don't hit him with the outro.
Now, next week, too, the Tuesday after that, I know I won't be live. That'll be the 22nd. Yes, the 22nd. I will be out
You
of
couldn't have
town.
said
I
the
will be in
29th.
meetings all day and night.
You couldn't
Huh?
say the 29th. Because I don't think I can
No,
make
it's
it
the
the
22nd.
29th. I'm gonna be traveling for work.
Maybe we can find a substitute.
We could try a different day for sure. But I mean, if you just want to, if you want to replace me in my black job, I mean, I guess shit.
Wow. 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 This is why we can't have nice things. This is exactly why we could not have nice things. Y'all, we about to get up out of here. Regardless if the country is red or blue, we will always be black, y'all. We love y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We are out of here.